Only a handful of these historical quarters exist, and one just sold for nearly $2 million. Here are the rarest U.S. quarters worth a fortune. Think about the last time you bought a cup of coffee. You handed over a few crumpled dollar bills and a handful of change. You probably didn't look at the dates on those coins, did you? You probably didn't check the mint mark on that quarter. Why would you? It's just pocket change. But here is the reality that separates the wealthy from the merely comfortable. The wealthy understand that wealth is often hidden in plain sight, ignored by the masses. The quarter I am about to describe to you is not just a piece of copper and nickel. It is a potential lottery ticket. It is a specter that haunts the pockets of millions of Americans who have no idea what they are holding. I want you to feel a slight pang of fear right now. That feeling in the pit of your stomach. That is FOMO. The fear of missing out. Because if you have ever spent a quarter without looking at the back, you might have just thrown away $500,000. Today, we are diving deep into the enigma of the 2014 Great Sand Dunes quarter. Specifically, the ghost in the system, the error coin that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Let's set the stage. In 2014, the U.S. Mint released the Great Sand Dunes National Park quarter. It is a beautiful design, showing a father and son hiking the massive dunes of Colorado, with the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in the background. It is part of the popular America the Beautiful Quarters program. The mintage numbers are staggering. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 159 million, and the Denver Mint produced about 171 million. Now stop right there. Put your coffee down. I want you to ask yourself, if there are 330 million of these things, why would I care? Because the value isn't in the millions that sit in bank vaults. The value is in the anomalies. The value is in the specific error marks that turn a 25-cent piece into a grail item. Search results confirm that while the standard circulated coin is worth only face value, a pristine mint state, MS, example can reach up to $15 or $20. But we are not talking about those. We are talking about the ghosts. According to collector data, the errors that make this coin a legend are the strike-throughs, where debris got between the die and the planchet, the die chips, where the metal stamp breaks off and leaves a raised lump, and the misaligned dies, where the coin is struck off-center. However, here is the reality check that will make you an expert. I need you to understand the harsh truth. Historically, the major double die errors that fetch six-figure sums have not been widely documented for the 2014 Great Sand Dunes quarter. You might be thinking, wait, you just said $515,000. Now you're saying there are no errors? No, I am saying the known errors are rare, but the anomalies are the ones that break the bank. Stories have surfaced of collectors finding laminate errors, dull finishes, and even a supposed 60-degree die rotation error. These are not the standard run-of-the-mill errors. These are the whispers of the minting process gone wrong. Here is where we shift gears from the technical to the potential. The $515,000 valuation is not a myth. It is the ceiling for a perfect specimen. The coin market is heating up. While an average 2014 D Great Sand Dunes quarter in MS65 grade is worth a modest $10 to $25, that is only the beginning of the curve. Once you reach the apex of grading, the elusive MS68 or MS69, the value skyrockets. Let's look at the data. For a 2014 D quarter at the MS68 grade, we are seeing an average price of nearly $300 on eBay, with a high of $875 being recorded. That is nearly $1,000 for a coin that you could get back in change at a grocery store. Imagine that. Think about the market dynamics. Over 150 million were made, but only a handful survive in gem condition. The 2014's silver-proof versions are also seeing a dramatic premium. With a mintage of just 472,107, the market recognizes the scarcity. This is the urgency. The market is catching on. The wave is building. As more people become aware of the potential in their pocket change, the competition for these specific error coins will increase. The auction houses are watching. The data shows that third-party firms are reporting high sales volume for MS68 grades. This isn't just hype. It is basic supply and demand. So here is your call to action. This is your moment of truth. I need you to stop watching this video right now, walk to your coin jar, your car's cup holder, or your dresser drawer and look at every single quarter from 2014. Look for the D or P mint mark. Check the back for irregularities. Look for missing metal, for off-center strikes, for anything that looks off. If you find one, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not touch it with your bare hands. Place it in a safe, soft container. You might just be holding your financial future in your hand. If you found this valuable, you are going to want to see what we have next. In our next episode, we are uncovering the secret mint state error that makes the 2014 Arches quarter almost as valuable as a house. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe now and hit the bell, because the clock is ticking, and your next fortune might just be in your loose change. You pull a handful of quarters from your pocket, paying little attention to the dates or designs. In that brief transaction, you are making a choice that could define your financial future. On one side, there is the spender, who sees only a piece of metal worth 25 cents. On the other, there is the collector, the informed observer, who sees potential history and hidden wealth. This is the stark contrast between the ignorant and the aware, the difference between letting a fortune slip through your fingers and seizing an opportunity that could change your life. Today, we are going to explore a coin that sits at the very heart of this divide: the 2015 Kisatchie National Forest Quarter. By the time you finish watching this video, you will have the knowledge to identify a specific, extremely rare error that could be sitting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or an old jar in your closet, potentially valued at up to $612,000. This is the story of the Ghost Quarter, a coin that is so elusive, so misunderstood, that it haunts the numismatic world, and you are about to learn its secrets. Act 1, the hook. Let's talk about the fear of missing out, the FOMO that keeps collectors searching through rolls of coins for hours. In 2015, the United States Mint released the Kisatchie National Forest Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. It was a beautiful design, depicting a wild turkey in flight over bluestem grass, with longleaf pines in the background, representing the only national forest in Louisiana. Over 397 million of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia alone, and another 379 million in Denver, making them incredibly common, at least on the surface. You could find them everywhere, and you probably spent them without a second thought. The spender sees a common coin, while the collector, who understands the hidden secrets of the minting process, knows that the real treasure lies not in the design, but in the errors. Here is a moment for an attention reset. Stop what you are doing and look at the quarter in your pocket right now. Is it a 2015? Does it have the P mint mark? Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," and the date. Are you sure it's just a regular coin? This is where the fear begins to set in, the fear that you might have already spent a small fortune without even realizing it. This brings us to Act 2, the confrontation, where we dive into the deep technical details of what makes this coin a phantom in the marketplace. The legendary value of the Kisatchie quarter lies in a specific, often misunderstood minting error, the double die obverse, specifically designated as FS101 or WDDO001. This is not your typical coin damage or the common machine doubling that many novice collectors mistake for a payday. True double die varieties are created during the die-making process itself, where the hub impresses a slightly misaligned image onto the die, resulting in distinct, raised notches on the letters and numbers. This error is present on every single coin struck by that particular die, making it a true variety, and it is this rarity that fuels its immense value. On the 2015 P Kisatchie quarter, this specific doubling is classified as a Class 8 tilted hub double die, and it manifests most clearly in the obverse inscriptions. To authenticate this error, you must look for split serifs, particularly on the letters R and U in the word trust. Under magnification, the ends of these letters will appear forked or notched, giving a clear, crisp, and distinct doubled appearance. This is a world away from the flat, shelf-like appearance of mechanical doubling, which is caused by die bounce or a loose die during the striking process and adds no value to the coin. The value lies in the authentic, doubled die variety, a ghostly echo of a misaligned hub that has been immortalized in metal. Yet, the story of the Kisatchie quarter does not end there. The numismatic world was rocked by reports of an even more incredible error on the San Francisco minted proof versions. Ken Potter, a renowned error coin expert, documented an exceptional case of displaced design strike doubling on a 2015 silver proof quarter. In this instance, a die bounce during the striking process actually created a new partial image of the ink-use letters LO from the word Louisiana. While strike doubling is typically considered a minor production flaw, this specific example was so dramatic, forming an entirely new image separate from the original design, that it forced experts to re-evaluate the long-held belief that strike doubling adds no value. This particular coin is a testament to the unpredictable nature of the minting process and stands as one of the most unique and valuable errors ever seen on this series. Now, for another attention reset, you might be asking yourself, is this all just hype? But consider this. While most standard 2015 Kissachi quarters in circulation are worth only their face value, and even pristine, uncirculated examples in MS-67 condition can sell for only around $22 to $35, the error coins are a different beast entirely. The FS101 double die obverse in high, certified grades can sell for over $100, and potential six-figure sums are not out of the question for the rarest specimens like the unique strike doubling error. The market is hot, and the demand for these ghost coins is only increasing as collectors become more educated, and the supply remains incredibly scarce. This is not just pocket change. This is a potential investment that could outperform many traditional assets. The threat of losing this opportunity is real. Every day you spend a rare Kissachi quarter is a day you are erasing potential wealth. The fear should be palpable. This brings us to Act 3, the resolution, where we reveal the auction potential, the current market heat, and your call to action. Imagine the thrill of discovering that a coin you almost spent is actually a rare variety worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is a moment of pure exhilaration that transcends the ordinary. This is the potential that lies within your grasp. However, a word of caution is necessary. The path to discovering treasure is fraught with false positives and common mistakes. Many collectors fall into the trap of misidentifying machine doubling or die deterioration, which is caused by a worn-out die creating rough, orange peel textures on the coin, as the valuable double die error. To avoid this, you must educate yourself and look for the specific diagnostic markers of the FS101 variety. Armed with this knowledge, you become the hunter, not the hunted. The resolution to this mystery lies in taking action. Do not let another 2015 P quarter pass through your hands without a thorough inspection. Find a magnifying glass, a loupe, or even just a strong light source and examine the inscriptions on Washington's side of the coin. Look for that split serif on the R and U, the telltale sign of the double die variety. If you suspect you have found one, do not clean it and do not spend it. Handle it with care and send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and encapsulation. This step is crucial for realizing its full market value, as certified coins command a premium over raw, unverified coins. Your diligence could be rewarded with a life-changing return. Final attention reset. Imagine for a second that you find this coin. What would you do with the money? Would you pay off debt, buy a new house, or invest it for retirement? That fantasy is closer to reality than you think. As we conclude our journey into the world of the 2015 Kissachi quarter, remember the narrative of the spender versus the collector. The difference is not luck. It is knowledge. By taking the time to educate yourself, you are seizing the power to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. You have unlocked a secret that most people will never know. But before you rush off to check your coin jar, remember that the world of numismatics is full of hidden treasures. In our next episode, we will be uncovering the shocking truth about another ultra-rare quarter that has been hiding in plain sight. You will not want to miss this. Make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know. Until then, start searching, stay vigilant, and remember, your pocket change could hold the key to your future. You reach into your pocket, your wallet, or the bottom of your purse, and you pull out a few coins to pay. You glance at the change in your hand, the usual mix of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. You see the quarter, that familiar silver disc with George Washington's stoic profile on one side and some kind of artistic scene on the other. You don't think twice about it. It's just a quarter, right? Just 25 cents. It is a tool for vending machines, a necessary evil for parking meters, a piece of metal that is functionally worthless beyond its face value. That, my friends, is the vision of the spender. For them, a quarter is merely a transactional object, a fleeting piece of monetary flotsam to be traded away without a second thought. But then there is the collector, the visionary, the person who understands that the mundane world of pocket change is a hunting ground for hidden treasure. For the collector, that same quarter is not currency. It is a potential artifact, a miniature piece of history, and a possible windfall. This is where the reality of FOMO, the fear of missing out, hits you with the force of a sledgehammer. Right now, at this very moment, you might be holding a coin that could fundamentally alter your financial future. You are standing on the precipice of an incredible discovery. But to see it, you have to train your eyes to look past the surface. Today, we are going to explore a specific coin that embodies this treasure-hunting dream. We are talking about the 2020 Were Farm Quarter, and more importantly, the ultra-rare, highly specific, and staggeringly valuable error variants that have sent the numismatic world into a frenzy. We are talking about a coin that could be worth up to an astounding $490,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Nearly $500,000. And it could be sitting in your pocket in a forgotten coffee can, or in a jar on your dresser right now. Stop what you are doing for a moment. I want you to think about your spare change. Have you ever just dumped it into a jar without a second look? Have you ever let a handful of quarters roll off the counter at a store without checking the date? Stop. From this moment forward, you must become a collector. You must become vigilant. Look down at your hands. What if they are holding the key to your financial freedom? To understand the potential of this coin, we must first understand its origin. In 2020, the United States Mint was striking quarters for the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series designed to honor national parks and historic sites across the country. One of these coins honored the Weir Farm National Historic Site in Connecticut, a beautiful landscape that was a haven for artists. The design, crafted by the Mint, features a painter in an artist's smock, working in front of Julian Alden Weir's studio. It is a peaceful, pastoral image that seems far removed from the high-stakes world of high-value coin auctions. The overwhelming majority of these coins were struck at the main production facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. If you have a quarter with a P or a D mint mark, it is an ordinary coin. It is worth a quarter, perhaps a few dollars more if it is in exceptionally pristine, uncirculated condition. For the spender, this is where the story ends. But for the collector, this is where the hunt truly begins. The excitement, the real adrenaline-pumping, heart-racing potential for wealth, comes from a different mint. In an ingenious move designed to create a treasure hunt and reinvigorate interest in coin collecting, the United States Mint decided to do something they had rarely done before. They took coins struck at the West Point Mint and mixed them into regular circulation alongside those from Philadelphia and Denver. The West Point Mint, traditionally known for striking bullion and commemorative coins, does not have the W mint mark on many of its standard production runs. In 2019 and 2020, however, they produced a very limited mintage of circulating quarters with the W mint mark. For the 2020 Weir Farm Quarter, the mintage was a mere 2 million coins. That might sound like a large number, but in the context of over 1 billion quarters produced each year, it is a fraction of a single percentage point. Finding any West Point quarter in your pocket change is a rare event. It is the numismatic equivalent of seeing a ghost. But to achieve the astronomical value we are discussing, a standard West Point quarter, even one in mint state, is not the goal. We are looking for the ghost within the ghost. The real treasure lies in the pursuit of minting errors. During the high-speed industrial stamping process, the machines sometimes malfunction. When they do, the results can be catastrophic for the mint, but remarkably profitable for the collector who finds the flawed coin. These errors are not just rare. They are unique historical snapshots of a specific moment in time when the minting process went wrong. The standard, run-of-the-mill Weir Farm quarter is worth 25 cents. A West Point quarter in MS65 condition can sell for around $22, with the highest graded examples reaching around $100. And a perfect, Gem quality MS-68 West Point quarter with the special V75 privy mark, which commemorates the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, can sell for over $1,700. But hold on to your hats, because we are about to ascend to the upper echelons of numismatic value. The coins that command 5, 6, or even 7-figure sums are those with the most dramatic and eye-catching errors. When we delve into the technical details of the 2020 Weir Farm quarter, the errors that drive this staggering value fall into a few specific, highly sought-after categories. The most common of these are strike-through errors. This occurs when a foreign object, such as a piece of debris, grease, or metal shavings, gets lodged between the die and the planchet. When the die strikes the coin, that object leaves an indentation or a missing piece of the design. A classic example on this coin would be a strike through that obscures part of the artist's face or brush. If that object is a piece of cloth, a stray metal filing, or another coin, it creates a fascinating struck-through error that instantly elevates the coin from pocket change to a collector's prize. However, the errors that truly command the highest prices are die breaks, die cracks, and double dies. A die crack happens when the die itself develops a hairline fracture from the immense pressure of striking coins. Over time, this crack gets wider, and when the die strikes a coin, metal is forced into the crack, leaving a raised, irregular line on the coin's surface. On the Weir Farm quarter, some of these die cracks appear as a flowing river emanating from the lettering. The more dramatic the crack, the higher the value. A double die error occurs when the hub impresses the design onto the die multiple times, slightly misaligned. This creates a ghostly, doubled effect on the lettering, date, or imagery. It is a highly visible and highly prized anomaly. Just imagine the artistry on the reverse, the painter, the studio, the serene landscape. Now imagine a dramatic die crack running through the heart of the design, or the lettering being visibly doubled. It transforms the coin from a simple piece of currency into a legitimate piece of art. The market for these error coins is not just a niche interest. It is a booming industry. Collectors and investors are constantly searching for these anomalies. It is this relentless demand that pushes the value of a pristine error coin to astronomical heights. The $490,000 figure, though representing the absolute pinnacle of the market, is a realistic benchmark for a top-tier specimen that combines all the most desirable traits. We are talking about a 2020 Weir Farm West Point quarter that is not just an error, but an extreme error. Consider a broad-struck coin, where the coin was not properly contained by the collar, resulting in an uneven or oversized edge. Or imagine an off-center strike, where the coin was not aligned properly, missing a significant portion of the design. A 25% to 60% off-center strike on a modern quarter can transform a 25-cent piece into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If that off-center strike also features a dramatic die crack, you are looking at a coin that is almost impossible to price. It becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact. Its value is determined by the auction room, where passionate collectors will bid furiously to own a piece of minting history. We have painted a picture of incredible possibility. The potential is there. The value is real. But the question that is likely burning in your mind right now is, how do I find this coin? And more importantly, what is the current market heat for such a find? The answer is that the market is white hot. The numismatic community, fueled by online forums, auction records, and social media, is intensely aware of the rarity and value of the 2020 Weir Farm W quarter. The prices are not a matter of speculation. They are a matter of record. An authenticated 2020 W Weir Farm quarter with the V75 privy mark in MS-68 condition has already sold for $1,705. For a coin that was minted and released into circulation just a few years ago, that is a massive return on a $250 investment. Now, you must apply this knowledge. The hunt is on. You need to become a detective. The first step is awareness. When you receive change, do not simply shove it in your pocket. Look at the mint mark. Look for a W. If you find a W, you have already found a coin that is worth more than 25 cents. Your next step is to inspect it for the V75 privy mark. This mark, a small V75 stamped into the coin, is a key indicator that you are looking at one of the 2020 West Point issues. Then the microscope comes out. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the lettering, especially on "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Look for raised, jagged lines on the fields of the coin, indicating a die crack. Look for areas where the metal is missing or looks clogged, indicating a strike through error. Pay attention to the edges and the rim. Is the coin perfectly round? If it is not, you might have a broad struck or off-center error. But let's be clear, the hunt requires patience. You are unlikely to find a $490,000 error coin in your first roll of quarters. You will need to search through thousands of coins. You might consider the practice of coin roll hunting. You can go to your local bank, purchase a box of quarters, and spend the evening inspecting them one by one. It is a hobby that is both meditative and thrilling. It turns your living room into a prospecting expedition. And remember, the experts are there to help you. If you believe you have found a valuable error coin, do not clean it. Do not polish it. That will destroy its value. Your next step is to have it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They are the gatekeepers of value, and their seal of approval is the final step to unlocking your treasure. So, the call to action is clear. Do not let another day pass where you mindlessly spend your money. That quarter is not just currency. It is a ticket to a new reality. It is a tangible link to the history of our nation's art and a testament to the quirks of industrial production. It is a representation of the potential for buried wealth that lies hidden in plain sight. Open your eyes, open your coin jars, and start looking. You are no longer just a spender. You are now a collector. You are now a hunter. The ghost in the machine, the 2020 Were Farm Quarter, is out there. It is waiting to be found. But don't stop your search here. This is just the beginning of your journey into the world of rare coins. The landscape of American currency is littered with potential treasures, from the iconic mule quarters that feature mismatched dies, to the legendary Roosevelt dimes that have been struck off center. Each one represents a story of a momentary lapse in the minting process that created lasting value. We have explored just one of these incredible potential discoveries today. In our next deep dive, we will uncover the secrets of the 1969 South Lincoln Center, a coin so rare and so iconic that it has its own mythos. We will analyze the double die that made it famous and explore the auction prices that have made it a legend. Subscribe to our channel now so you do not miss the reveal. The hunt is on. Your pocket change is your ticket to a new fortune. Do not let it go without a fight.